We have some really interesting information from Superdata Research, which has told us just how well digital games did in the month of August, and we have some quite interesting results, as according to their information, digital game sales reached 6.1 billion in the month of August, which is an increase of 11% year over year. Now, while we had familiar games like say League and Overwatch and all that sort of stuff contributing greatly to this increase in revenue, two games contributed greatly, and they are none other than No Man's Sky and Pokemon Go. Now, these particular games helped get even more people spending their money on downloadable games and items as opposed to doing these things in a brick and mortar store. Now, as we all know, the gaming industry is massive. It is a $99.6 billion business annually, and the balance of power is slowly starting to move away from physical to digital. Now, while I've said many times that a full conversion is not going to happen until fast internet is more easily accessible to people in remote towns and such situations, we are still seeing that shift happen very slowly over time. Now, spending on digital console products has grown 16% year over year to 399 million. Now, we did see Call of Duty leading the charge, which is not exactly surprising, it's Call of Duty, but we did see No Man's Sky at number 2, just ahead of GTA 5, which in itself was just ahead of Legion. I'll go through the full sort of top 10, I guess, in a second, but we also saw a nice growth on PC as digital PC spending grew 21% to $401 million. Now, as I mentioned earlier, Pokemon Go was definitely a big contributor. It was very successful on mobile, and I have a bit of a statement here from the Superdata analyst and chief executive officer Joost van Drunen. And he said, quote, Pokemon Go pushed the mobile market to $3.4 billion in revenue. That's 16% higher than the same month last year. Now, staying on the PC theme for a moment, we also had an increase in microtransaction purchases. They grew 8% year over year to 1.41 billion. Now, only premium priced MMOs and social games on platform like Facebook experienced any decline, which was a 4% decline to 226 million and down 2% to 604 million respectively. And have another quote here from Van Drunen, which reads, quote, a batch of successful releases across console, PC and mobile drove double digital year-over-year gains in market growth. So with all the facts and figures out of the way, I do have the top 10 grossing digital games on PC, console and mobile here for you. So you might be interested in getting the full list, since I've been talking a lot about who's in the lead and whatnot. So for PC we had League at number 1, World of Warcraft at 2, Crossfire at 3, Dungeon Fighter Online at 4, Overwatch at 5, No Man's Sky at 6, World of Tanks at 7, Dota 2 at 8, Fantasy Westward Journey Online 2 at number 9, and CSGO at number 10. Moving swiftly on to console, we have Black Ops 3 at number 1, No Man's Sky at 2, GTA 5 at 3, FIFA 16 at 4, Madden NFL 17 at 5, 6 is The Division, 7 is Overwatch, 8 is Star Wars Battlefront, number 9 is Uncharted 4, and 10 is Fallout 4. As for mobile, we have number 1 is Pokemon Go, 2 is Monster Strike, 3 is Mobile Strike, 4 is Clash of Clans, 5 is Game of War Fire Age, 6 is Fantasy Westward Journey, 7 is Puzzle and Dragons, 8 is Clash Royale, 9 is Candy Crush Saga, and 10 is Clash of Kings. So, it's just really interesting to show how just a couple of really successful releases can help boost the entire sort of industry, coupled with, of course, other games continuing to be successful. A game would have to be pretty damn successful to do this by itself, so of course it was kind of a team effort between all these games, but it still is an interesting growth in this particular month, and it'll be interesting to see how this is reflected next year when there might not be such a sort of release as initially popular as No Man's Sky in the month of August. Will this be a flash in the pan, or is this an indication of the kind of growth we can expect? It might be a mix of both, to be honest, but of course, without a crystal ball, it's hard to know until we get there. Still, with that said, that is me done for this particular video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.